Thanks to EA for making this video possible. Hey guys, my name is Angelia. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not, welcome back. Today we are doing a speed build video. My lovely friend Emily actually sent me this floor plan a bit ago and I just got around to finally doing it. So it's actually an A-frame house, which I have never actually done. And there should be a picture on the screen rather of the build and the floor plan. I tried to stick to as best as I could. I struggled with this. Again, I've never done an A-frame and it was kind of frustrating to say the least. Doing the outside wasn't as bad as doing the interior actually, which I finally did for once instead of, waiting and not doing it ever. But yeah, so there's an interior, everything is fully furnished. This is going to be up on my gallery at AngeliaAnn. But oh my gosh, the camera bouncing that you are going to be witnessing in a few minutes is freaking crazy. Like, the amount of times I'm sitting there letting my camera bounce is nuts. So here I am trying to figure out how to do an A-frame. I knew the basics of doing it, but I've never actually done it myself. So I decided to do one on the bottom and then just the top layer for the A-frame. If that makes sense. Like, I didn't do a roofing on the middle portion where you're seeing me tugging out right now. It took me a little bit, so you're gonna see me kind of fidgeting with this quite a bit until I can get it right. And then, oh gosh, this size was way too large. It was way too much. way too much. Again, you're gonna see me fidgeting with it quite a bit. There also ends up being an issue. You're gonna see me moving lots at some point because I felt like I didn't have quite enough room to do what I wanted to in this one. Yeah, see, I'm trying to add it into the middle structure, and then once we get down to like the bare bones of it, it ends up being way too wide of a house. Like, it takes up this entire lot due to the A-frame. Yeah, see how big that freaking is? To me, it just looks kind of silly being that wide, but you're gonna see me continue to fit with it. Again, this was my first attempt ever at doing an A-frame, so bear with me. I was learning. I was trying to figure it out. I didn't hate the way that this looked, but it didn't match up to the way that the house in the photo looked. And I really wanted to emulate that because I thought it was a really cool, structure, I suppose. But yeah, no, I end up changing it up. We do fix it. There also ends up being an issue. So when I built the lot here, the issue didn't pop up. When I ended up moving the lot, I think I ended up moving it to Henford on Bagley because it was the only one that had the lot the size that I wanted. When I ended up moving it, like, some walls were disappearing, so I'm gonna... Ooh, my chair just cracked. You'll see me kind of messing with the front of the house once we get to that point, so if it ends up looking a little bit different, that's literally just why. It's because I was trying to make it work. But here we are, I'm still trying to mess with it. I didn't hate the way this looked. I didn't. I thought this was actually quite nice. However, again, I really wanted it to look like the photo, because when I'm building, I see that disappearing wall? I was dealing with that on a different lot, but I wound up fixing it. Anyway, when I'm building from reference, I want it to look almost identical as much as I can, which is a really bad habit, by the way. Like, if you're new to building and you are obsessively trying to make it look like the photo, you're going to give yourself a headache. 10 out of 10, I don't recommend doing that, like, at all. Don't stress yourself out to make it look identical. But what am I trying to do here? I think I'm trying to give it like a bit of a foundation, and it just wasn't working. I believe the colors all stay. Like, the roof color, the paneling color, everything stays. This winds up being kind of a more modern build in terms of the way it looks and like the color palette, I guess. Yeah, see, I was trying to add a foundation. But yeah, in terms of color palette, to me it seems very modern. It's very modern and clean. I am more of a color kind of girl, but this one is mostly like black, white, gray. It's kind of what I stuck with. I don't know, I think it's because like the house itself looked kind of modern on the outside with those colors, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have this translate to the interior as well. And right now, you can tell I'm trying to like mess with it. I'm realizing it's taking up a lot of freaking space here, and as you saw in the photo in the beginning, there is a ton of trees. Oh, sorry, I am recording this like as soon as I freaking wake up. Anyway, there's a ton of trees in this build, and I wouldn't have been able to fit them around the side of this house because it's so wide, and it was not working the way I needed it to. I'm trying to make the fencing kind of fit here. I wound up finding a kind of weird solution for it. Your Sims can't like actually walk off the ledge of things, so the size of the fence I believe I got rid of eventually. I'm still kind of messing with things here, it looks like. But we should be getting pretty darn close to the final like form of the house, like in terms of the roofing and the shape. But yeah, I'm still very proud of this house, do not get me wrong. I think it turned out very, very well. I would totally actually have my Sims live there. I don't know why the roofing does that when you adjust the top piece and then I don't know, it's weird. But I would totally have my Sims live here at some point. The bouncing of the camera drove me freaking bonkers. Like, you'll see it once we get to the interior area, but oh my gosh, let me actually see how we're a decent way away. It looks like I'm messing with the windows, but the inside, I wound up doing a lot of the interior off camera, specifically because the camera kept bouncing, and I knew it was giving me a slight headache, so I didn't want to do it to you guys, especially all sped up. So there are obviously shots of me doing the inside, but then you're gonna see me like cut away and it'll be half done sort of thing. I couldn't handle the crazy bouncing of the camera. It was making me absolutely bonkers. Yeah, see, now the house is a little bit more narrow. It looks like I actually fixed it off camera. So there's just two roof pieces. If you end up like wanting to dissect this build, there's the roof piece along the bottom floor. We can kind of see the fence poking through. And then there's the very top piece. So there's no roof on the middle second floor. I didn't put a roofing there. To me, this made me able to make it a little bit higher up and a little bit more narrow like the photo. And I think I actually did a pretty darn good job on making it look like the photo. So, you know, I'm happy about it. I was really struggling to find a fence that wouldn't poke through, and I wound up just having to go with the one I liked the most on here, and I thought this looked a little bit more clean and modern, so we went with that one. So it kind of pokes through, but not that badly. I do end up fixing all the ceilings. I realized it after I actually stopped recording the speed build that I didn't do it to the inside of the house, so if you do download the lot, it is fixed. there are ceilings. I always forget now to paint the ceilings. I know we were all begging for it, and I still forget now. I was trying out different lights here because it had kind of a more modern light. I don't go with this one. I think I go with more of like a drop down one. I think it's someone from the bowling pack that we end up going with, because they do have some color palettes that look a little bit more clean. And again, I was trying to stick with more clean and modern here. Looks like we still haven't moved lots just yet. It looks, because I started building this in Windenburg on the island because I wanted that more foresty feel. I wanted a lot of trees around it. I was initially looking at Granite Falls, but none quite had the lot size I was looking for, or I don't even know why I didn't pick it. I think it's because I didn't want to be... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Anyway, hi, I'm human and I yawn a lot, especially doing recordings like this. Anyway, I don't even know why I didn't pick Granite Falls. I think I didn't pick it because it was all like rental lots and I didn't want it to be a rental lot. I wanted it to be a residential. So I think that's why I did it. I don't even remember. I remember looking at Granite Falls. I vividly remember clicking on it, but I was just like, no, I'm gonna build elsewhere apparently. And you know what's funny about this lot is usually I try to build on lots that are way bigger than what I need, and then I shrink it down to a smaller lot. For some reason, this one, it's reversed. I wound up building on a smaller lot that I thought would be the perfect size, and it wound up being too small. So this is why I build on larger lots. Yeah, see, I got rid of those lights because I thought it made it look like it was just a weird color, and I didn't like the way it looked. I was trying to find the kind of drop-downy look that the photo had. And the bowling ones kind of worked the best. I think that's from bowling. If I'm remembering correctly, that's from bowling. But yeah, I just thought that that worked a little bit better than the ones I had. It was a little more dim. It wasn't as obnoxiously bright. So we went with that. You will also see the front porches kind of change shape, only again because I needed to adjust the walls on the second floor, because like when I moved the lots it got real stupid and it started deleting my walls. Where you see like the roof piece meet the actual wall is where it was deleting stuff, so I had like a huge gap of space and it just was not, it wasn't cute, so I had to fix it. Right now I'm adding some pathing because there is pathing on the photograph and I wanted to keep it as close as I possibly could. So you are not going to see me add all the trees. The trees, I'm going to be honest, took me a really long freaking time. Like, I'm going to say a few hours worth of adding trees, adding foliage and leaves and bushes and plants. It was just a whole thing. I spent a few hours doing it, trying to make sure it was the way I wanted it to look. Obviously, if you're playing on this lot and there's too much bouncing, aside from the roofing pieces, which there will be a lot of freaking bouncing because of the roof, you can remove the trees and stuff like that. If you guys want me to create like an alternate version of this house without the actual A-frame and doing an actual roofing, let me know and I will do my best to do that. I can't promise it'll be perfect, but I'll do my best to fix it up a little bit if you want it without the A-frame, because it will bounce. But it looks really freaking cool with the A-frame, so I'll be a little sad. Maybe I'll create an alternate version and keep it in my library, and then if you guys want it, I'll post it. But I'm still very happy with the way this came out. I would totally play on this. Actually, I could probably see myself playing on it off camera, but not maybe recording. I don't know, because I think usually when I record, I have the half up walls on. Because A, then you can still see the house, and B, my camera isn't bouncing like it is here. So it maybe wouldn't be as rough if I played it with half down, but as you can see with it full up, because the roof extends past that first floor, it bounces you, and it just gets real silly. And it's, oof. When I was trying to decorate the kitchen especially, because the kitchen's kind of an enclosed space on that first floor, oh my goodness, the amount of swearing I was doing, and my husband's looking at me like, are you okay? No, I am not okay. But it turned out really nice, so I think it was worth it. At one point, I think I was decorating the walls with the walls down because I couldn't handle the bouncing anymore of the camera. That's, I wish we could fix that. I wish that was a thing that could be fixed, but I don't know if that's even possible, to be fair. I do add in a lot of those flowers. I added a bunch of different variants. Silly me, forgot that there were other color variants and not just the purple. So right here, you're only seeing the purple, but I end up going back and revisiting the front of the house and adding in different colors so it's not all purpley. I just wanted some splashes of color while keeping it kind of foresty looking, because again, as per the reference photo, it's very wooded and it looks kind of secluded, which I think is cool. Now, I will say this house does not quite fit in that well to Henford on Bagley, but it's okay. It looks all right. We should be about to switch lots pretty soon, I would say, because I think it's around the 14-15 minute mark in this video that we end up moving to a different lot. So yeah, it's gonna be around 15 minutes, looks like. But I'm adding in some more plants, just so many plants. So many plants. I do have move objects on, obviously, especially when I'm doing landscaping, because otherwise they snap to the grid and things don't blend seamlessly. And I kind of like to blend in my plants to give it a more realistic look, because, you know, plants grow into each other. They don't just kind of sit there. So that's what you're seeing me doing right now. Adding in a lot of greenery. I wanted different colors and different textures almost. I don't know why. I don't know, I thought it would be cool. There's some like random little grass pieces I wound up putting around just to kind of make it look overgrown and a little bit more realistic. Although I don't know how you make this look realistic, but it's fine. I don't know why those grass pieces are so large, but maybe they haven't gotten a goat or something. It looks like I'm about to do, yeah, I'm changing the flooring. I don't know why, but it's like the default grass. I'm like, this is not realistic. There's brown patches in real grass and real life, you know, your front lawn gets brown spots, so I switched it up, clearly. And I think we're about to move. Yes, see, now we're in Henford on Bagley. You can tell the front of the house looked a little bit different. The sides were kind of pulled up a tiny bit just to accommodate the weird roofing error I was having there. I don't know why it was doing it. It was fine on the original lot, but whenever I placed it somewhere else, the wall freaking disappeared. So as you can see, I am decorating with the walls down because it was not fun. Oh, it was not enjoyable. Again, I do end up sticking with kind of a gray, black, and white color palette. There are colors brought in via plants. For the most part, plants and paintings. And then I think one of the bedrooms, I think it's one of the upstairs bedrooms, wound up getting like a splash of pink added to it because I thought the pink was kind of muted and it looked really nice in that particular room. So I did that. I was trying to find a different wallpaper color just to make it look different, but I was like, this blends in too much with the flooring, and it was a whole thing. So we ended up sticking with my tried and true gray with the my gray basics one with the, there it is, the one you guys see me use all the time. To me, it's easy on my eyes. I don't know how you guys feel about it. You're probably sick of seeing it. But as someone who suffers with chronic migraines, sometimes too bright of colors or too dark of colors can kind of mess with my eyes and trigger a migraine. So that's why I stick with this. It's a little bit cleaner for me to look at personally. Obviously, if you download this house and change it up, hey, go for it. I don't care. Whatever works for you. It's just for me personally, my head can't handle it, and it's kind of frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. I really liked that rug. I thought that it added like enough of a different feeling to it to make it look modern, but also kind of fun and, you know, add a little bit more, I guess, texture, shape, I don't know what you want to call it, to the house. But again, I'm very proud of the way this freaking turns. See, my camera's bouncing. And I knew as I started decorating the inside, I was like, oh no, this is gonna be really bad if I fully record the inside because of the nature of it being a speed build. I knew it was gonna be a little bit quicker for you guys, and if it was already making me frustrated just by looking at it while I was building it, I didn't want to do that to anyone's eyeballs. So you are gonna see like segments of it cut out, like quite a bit of it actually. I believe most of the downstairs I cut out just simply because of that, especially the hallway right there and the living room. It was a freaking nightmare. The bedrooms off to the left right there are not as bad because it was a little bit more of an open space. Yeah, see, I had to bunk the walls down because it was just being very frustrating. At one point, I think I actually removed the roofing pieces because I was so frustrated trying to decorate the inside of this freaking house. But yeah, you'll see like pops, like bits of it pop into life after a few cuts here and there. So apologies if you wanted to see the full, you know, interior design part of it, but I couldn't. I didn't want to do that to anyone and make anyone sick as a result. So this is what we came up with. I think it looks quite nice. I tried to stick to the floor plan as much as I could in terms of like even placement of the furniture, because they kind of had like a rough outline of the couches and things like that. So I tried to do that. And then upstairs, you'll see me kind of deviating from that because we had a little bit more space than I felt that we needed, I guess. So you're gonna see, like, I think I added a laundry room instead, whereas upstairs there was a room that's supposed to be all one, and I just divided it into two. I thought it worked better in terms of the Sims, and I'd been placing laundry baskets this entire time, so I was like, I'm gonna add laundry. Plus, I really like designing laundry rooms. I don't like doing laundry in real life or in The Sims, but I really like designing the laundry rooms. It's a very weird thing, but it worked out. It looks great. I think the inside looks really, really nice. At least to me personally it does. I was trying to match that thing right there. I was trying to make them a little bit more in the same color scheme instead of one being so much darker. I will say all the bathrooms look pretty much identical because again, I was trying to keep with like a like sleek look. Yeah, see, here it is all decorated. The bathroom's done, and I'm moving on over here to where I make like a little study area. Yeah, it was not fun to do that. So pardon me for it just popping into life, but it's okay. It works out. If you guys end up wanting to download this, it is up on the gallery. Definitely make sure Move Objects is turned on. Otherwise, it might get a little stupid, and I don't want to. Let's not. So if you do want it, it is up there. I'm making a little study right now. Here's a downstairs bedroom. I think there's 3 bedrooms in total, and I think 3 bathrooms. I think I do quite a few bathrooms. But overall, I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Again, would totally have one of my Sims living here because I really, really like the way that it turned out. And I think it'd be really fun and interesting. It's just the camera bouncing. But again, I think if you played with the half walls up or if you played with no walls up, you'll be perfectly fine. It's just if you play for some reason with your walls fully up at all times, like how I'm building right here, it might get a little bit wonky on you, and I do apologize for the camera bouncing. Again, I might create almost a variant of this house where everything inside is the same, but I just kind of redo the roofing upstairs. I don't know if you guys would like that or not. I don't know, it might make it a little bit easier to play on, but the A-frame looks really freaking nice, and I'm kind of in love with it, actually. So, Emily, thank you so much for sending me that. Even though I was wanting to throw my phone out the window at some points, or rather my computer too. But yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping at you guys because this is gonna go on for like another 10 minutes, I think, or so. It's about a 30-ish minute video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. I hope you like the house. It's something that's completely out of my wheelhouse, both being an A-frame and also decorating with such a limited color palette and keeping it kind of in, you know, muted colors instead of my insane pops of colors that I usually do with like pinks and purples and such. So both of those were a challenge for me in particular because again, I tend to do a lot of color and I tend to do more family suburban-y type of homes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it is up on the gallery if you want to download it. I hope you have a magical day and I will see you guys next time. Bye!